Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Ross here, and today's video is going to be on the USS Cleveland in World of Warships. Currently it sits at tier 6 in the cruiser line in the American tree, and is also classified still as a light cruiser since its guns are only 152 millimeters wide. The Cleveland class cruiser was specifically designed for World War II and boasted increased anti-aircraft abilities, better torpedo protection, and also fast enough to keep up with the fast carrier task force of World War II. Now, in history, there was supposed to be 52 of them made, only 27 were completed, and they were actually used all the way up into the 1970s with some, remodifications. Out of the 27, though, that served in World War II, none were actually lost, which is, quite surprising for a ship class that had so many ships. Not one was lost either in the Pacific or in the European Atlantic theaters. Now, the in-game stats on the Cleveland is it has 4 turrets of 3 guns apiece at 152 millimeters. Range of max of 14.6 kilometers, has a base fire chance of 12% for your HE shells, and then also has a max damage of 3,200 for AP shells, which for a cruiser at tier 6 to do 3,200 damage with these fast-firing guns is absolutely amazing. Now, another amazing stat about this ship is that it fires at 8.3 rounds per minute. That's a little bit slower than the fastest cruiser in the game right now, the USS Atlanta, that fires at 13.3 rounds per minute. But 8 rounds a minute is just absolutely amazing. You're not going to see that fast firing again until tier 10 with the Des Moines. Now, the Cleveland has been nerfed since closed beta. It used to be even better. But now what they've done is they increased the hang time on the shells when firing out at range. Now you can really notice this after 10 kilometers, but even right there, it takes a high arc trajectory towards that Kuma, which was at around 8.5 kilometers away. But it's still, the guns are very accurate, and right there I landed 9 shots, and 3 of them being Citadels. If you know where to aim with this cruiser, you are going to have a great game almost all the time, because especially against cruisers, because you are just going to be a Citadel machine. So let's talk about what captain skills you might want to take with the Cleveland. You should definitely have the first and third skill set in secondary armament, which increases your firing rate and also increases the range. Also, getting Demolition Expert to get that extra 3% fire turns that into a 15% chance of fire per shell, which is absolutely amazing to be at tier 6 with 15% chance of fire on a cruiser nonetheless. So this is a great cruiser, and in the American line, I would say it's one cruiser that you definitely feel like you are the king of the seas. I mean, the St. Louis is great with how many guns it has and everything, especially at a low tier. You feel like you're pretty much king as well because it's well armored. But combined with the Cleveland speed, maneuverability, and the amount of shells that you can put down range, you are just going to have a ball every single time you take this out. And this quite easily is my favorite US cruiser currently, until the Des Moines probably. So let's talk about this game real quick as well. 7 Citadels already secured and a kill. Now, I could have probably had 2 kills, but someone else secured that kill for me. And it wasn't a kill steal. In this game, I don't believe there's really kill stealing, and I will preach that it's all about getting the enemy killed as fast as possible. Even if you do most of the damage to it, it's okay, because you're going to get your credits and experience awarded based off that damage done. And even though I did most of the damage to this Kuma, someone else is going to get the kill, and that's okay. This salvo going in right here is going to be great. You can just see right there, aiming for the center line, boom. 2 Citadels, 3 hits, 7,700 damage done on that salvo, but it's okay that I didn't get the kill. To me, that's just fine. Now, there's a couple other things that the ship does very well. One, it can just absolutely punish enemy battleships. The chance of fire being at 15% with the commander skill is just absolutely amazing, because you can put down so many shots down that 15% is per shell, and you're firing freaking, so many shells a minute, 8 shells a minute. It's just great. Now, another thing that it does very well is also anti-aircraft ability. Now, it has a good amount of anti-aircraft on it for being a tier 6, but also has the defensive fire mechanic that's in-game for cruisers as well as some destroyers, and you can definitely provide escorting ability to other battleships or other cruisers that use their ability. Definitely if you stack them between, a division mate and one guy uses it then the next, you are going to make it punishing for carriers to get near you. Now, this is exactly what I'm talking about, though, with punishing a battleship. Is he's sitting at range right now, and my shells, you can see that hang time I'm talking about, too. The shells are off the screen right now, and I have to aim far, far ahead on this battleship, even though he's moving slow. And I'm trying to walk those shells in because that hang time is so great. It's really a little bit hard to aim with a far away target when you're trying to actually land those shells on target, but it's just taking forever for the shells to actually get there. So let's talk about situational awareness. Now, I already lit one fire on this New Mexico, and he put it out, so that means he used his damage control ability. And that means now that every fire that I put onto his hull is going to burn the max amount of time. And there it is, a fire set, and that is now going to continue to burn. Oh, there's another one that I put on. That's 2 fires now burning on his hull, and they're going to do an amazing amount of damage. This Minakaze tries to come in and sneak in on me, but I punish him with 2 salvos, destroying him, and now back to this battleship. Now, I'm ignoring the cruiser behind him, and that's okay because this battleship, he needs to die. He's the main threat right now, and every fire that I put on him is helping out my team and also helping me survive. And now he beached himself. He has a little over 24,000 health left, and I'm just going to sit here continually putting shells down on him and doing the most amount of damage I can. Now, this salvo's coming in, and I don't move at all, and I get punished for it, take a Citadel hit, but there's another fire. That means there's 3 fires on him, and he's now burning from bow to stern, and he is just hating life right now. Because just a second ago I said he was at 22,000 or 24,000, and he's already down at 7, and watch how fast he melts. And as a battleship captain that plays mostly battleships, I can tell you I've been in this situation many of times, and it just sucks. It sucks to die that fast due to fire. And I got Arsonist for the kill, killing him with fire and taking most of his HP away with that fire as well. Now, moving on to this Phoenix, I quickly shift over to AP because please don't be one of those cruiser captains that always fire HE. You're not going to win if you're always firing HE. You fire HE at small targets or very large targets and use that AP, against those cruisers. And there's even times that you should be using AP against carriers and or even battleships at close range. Especially when you get to higher tiers, using AP, you can definitely do some good damage with it. So now I'm trying to find this last ship, and I just found it, the Sayoba, and he's almost at full health. Now, this is another tactic to use as a cruiser pilot, is don't stand still. Do not just continue sailing in a straight line. You can see in my lower left corner the orientation of my ship. I'm continually changing. Not much, just ever so slightly left and right to make sure that those shots are not landing and throwing off his aim. Now, I can put more rounds downrange than the Sayoba can, and I can definitely punish him faster than he can punish me, but what he's doing right now is trying to close the distance so he can use those torpedoes. I'm already aware of this. I'm not just coming in, blindly not knowing that he has torpedoes, but I'm sitting at 7,000 health, and he's sitting at over 20,000 health, 25,000 right now, and I need to punish him and punish him fast. Over 200 hits recorded right now, and I'm coming in for the suicide run. 5,000 HP left on me. I could run, but it's not going to help out my team if I do. I'm either going to go for the Ram or I'm going to go for the Citadels if I can. And right there, another 2 Citadels, 8,500 damage done, and he's presenting me a great picture right here as he goes flat and he launches those torpedoes, and now I'm just praying to get this on sight, and I launch, and look at that, 5 Citadels, I absolutely destroy him. So that ends the game for me, but that helps secure the win for my team. Since we have 3 cruisers left and there's a carrier, that's going to be game over for us. So as we watch my ship sink, let's look at the end of game details. 222 shots on target, 4 criticals, 7 fires, 16 Citadels, 4 kills, high caliber, Arsonist, and Confederate. What a great game. Leads to 2,276 base experience, pretty good. And look at that, that's 130,000 total damage, 57,000 with AP, 21,000 with HE hits, and 21,000 with fires. Now, this was a great game for myself, but you guys can do this too. It's not that hard to reproduce these kind of results in the Cleveland. You just need to know where to aim, how far ahead to lead your target, and then, by God, stop using HE all the time and learn when to switch to AP. Knowing the difference between AP and HE is a lifesaver. Please, if you guys like this video, hit the thumbs up. It means a lot to me and also helps me out greatly. And until next time, I'm the Flying Ross. I'll check you guys later.